Hello and welcome to a not so awesome review, and today we are looking at the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Batman Mezco 112 Collective figure. That's a lot of stuff to say. Anyways, there's so many things that this figure came with that I actually can't fit it all in the frame right here without backing the camera up way more, and my backdrop won't actually probably fit, so you'd be seeing the rest of the table. That ain't good. Wasn't really planning on doing a review of this, but someone asked, so here we go with this review, and he is an awesome figure. I'm going to start off by saying, at the moment, probably the best Batman figure you can get, just hands down in articulation, in scale, if you want to have him in scale with your Marvel Legend figures for whatever reason. I know that the, Mafex Batman from the same movie is a pretty good figure. I see a lot of people do like it, but I almost did buy it, but I decided to hold out and buy this one, and I'm glad I did. It's a really nice figure. I do have minor issues with it, but it's nothing against the figure itself. Well, one thing, which I'm sure you guys can kind of guess, it has to do with these things right here. But aside from that, the only thing is I'm just not a super big fan of the bulkier Batman. I mean, even in Dark Knight Returns, I'm not a super big fan of that design. It's a good book, good story, don't get me wrong. In comic book form, he doesn't look that bad, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of how bulky he looks here or in the movie. But we did already get the announcement. If you guys keep up with the news for the Mezco figures, you'll know that the first appearance Mezco Batman is coming out at some point. I think it's this year, and I cannot wait because it looks amazing. I'll put a picture up for you guys to see right now, and it looks amazing. But anyways, let's get on to the review for this Batman, which, he is awesome himself. There's no denying that. He is definitely one of the best Batman action figures, especially in this scale, ever made. So, you guys want to check out the quick look at the box? Here we go. You can see the figure's not inside it, because, well, like I said, I wasn't really planning on doing this, but yeah, the box is cool. And let's move on to the accessories, and then we'll move on to Batman himself. So like I said, accessory-wise, he does come with a ton of stuff, as you can see here. Let's start off with the base, which is your generic Mezco base. It's a little dusty. It's been sitting on the shelf. Batman v Superman logo right there. It's a little scratch right there, a little scratch. No, it's just more dust. The peg for the leg, which you can poke out using the bottom of the stand in case you're having issues with that. Kind of just push it there and then push it through and it'll come out. The stand itself is always, as always, really good. It comes with the little clip that you put in, so you can put it around his waist. And it comes with this thing, which is for the cape. And it's probably the one thing, I'm not even going to bother putting it on. I think it slides on easier than just forcing it like that, by the way. But I'm not going to be bothering putting it on because I'm not going to use it. I've tried using it once and just no. Basically, you get 3 of these short little kind of wiry things with these clips on it and one kind of long one. And the point is, you slide in the cape to the back of this and right here, which you kind of just push down right there, slide the cape in, get this little wire thing and peg it into whichever hole here you want. And it'll hold the cape up, and I've seen pictures of it working, but you know what, it's a really big hassle. I feel like the cape is going to break just doing it, like it's going to rip or something, so I'm not a fan of it at all. But the regular arm stand and everything is really good. I do like it. It's a really nice, solid piece. You have screws there for tying it in case it gets loose. Obviously, you don't want to do it too tight because it is plastic and it'll break eventually. But it's really nice. It's a really tight stand. Definitely one of my favorite ones that they've produced, period. Next up, let's talk about the head sculpts. We have this kind of, I don't even know what you want to call it. I mean, you could say it's angry Batman. It could also work as kind of a shocked face almost. I don't know. I have been using this one for displaying. It does You know, it's growing on me since I got it. You can see the detail on the mask is really good. You have the wrinkles above the eyes, the wrinkles in between the eyes and the nose right there. The eyes themselves look really good. You can see the face underneath. The mouth really does look like Ben Affleck. He doesn't even have like a little bit of a 5 o'clock. It's got the chin and everything. It's a really good HUD sculpt. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely really good. Here we have a kind of calm, neutral looking face. Not bad at all. Again, all the wrinkles and detail on it look amazing. The eyes, I think, were done really well. And it's funny, it looks like his chin. So there you go on the heads. I think they're awesome. We do get two hands with batarangs in them. That way you don't really have to struggle to get them to hold them. Though they can come out. They're not. I don't think they're meant to, but mine on one of these had fallen out. I thought I lost it, but I found it on the floor, thankfully, before my dog did. They're kind of just pegged in between the two fingers. But yeah, the gloves look really good. They're kind of weathered. They have the gold on them. They look really nice. And that's the same for every other hand. So we got the two batarang kind of getting ready to throw hands. We have the two fist hands right here. Which you can see, even the inside of the glove has all these lines in it. That just detail on it is really good. It's, like I said, it's really good. The two fists. We have this hand that's for holding the grapple gun, which we have right here. So let's move on to that for a second. It does have an opening in the side there, so we can kind of peg it into the back of the belt here. Just kind of put it back there like that. Well, kind of like that. I don't know. It does stay. I'm like doing this behind a camera. It's a little bit hard. But it does fall off easy, especially if you lean Batman in the wrong direction, which is why I don't keep it on him. You know, it's behind his back, behind the cape, so it's not like it really matters. Can't really see it anyway. But the detail on it, if it focuses, looks really good. We got a brown handle, little black dots on it, silver dry brushing. Everything on it is really nice. It comes with its own accessories. We have an open hook. Just by itself, you can have it go in like that. Though it is really fragile, and I do feel like I'm going to break it at some point. So, that's the only bad thing. We have, I'll show this one first, an open hook that has a string. That, again, you can just peg in there if you wanted to. And you can attach it somewhere, and it'll look pretty good. I haven't really used it, but it would look good. And I'm actually pointing at the wrong hole. The hole's down here. But, yeah, and then the closed one, which is what I usually just keep it with. So, yeah, it's nice. I do wish we had an extra peg to kind of cover up that hole. But, where did the hand go? Down here. You can see, nope, that's the wrong one. You can see, it's pretty easy to get him to hold it. Not a big deal. I do wish we got another trigger hand, because then if he had it held the other way, you can kind of hide that a little bit better, holding it like that. But that's just a minor complaint. Otherwise, it's really good. It's really easy to put in, which is a good thing. You know, the hands are pretty soft and rubbery, so grapple gun is awesome. And while we're looking at those accessories, you know, he does come with a grenade. Really not much to speak on detail. It has a handle and it has this little round thing, little clip, I don't know what you want to call it. 3 batarangs, which are cool. Nothing to complain about them. Got a little bit of line work, silver awesomeness. Before I get to the last accessory, I want to get to this hand, because it's the hand it uses to hold it, and it's that little weird bat stamp thing that he kind of punches people in the face so they can have that scar. And it's kind of like, I don't see Batman doing that. I don't know, I have issues with this version of Batman. The killing has a lot to do with it, but yeah, he holds it really good. Nothing to complain there. The little line goes between the fingers, so you'll know which hand this goes to. And lastly, we have these kind of posed, like, fighting hands, whatever you want to use them for. Jumping over something, shocked, whatever comes to mind. It looks, like I said, they look good. You can see the detail on the hands are really nice. There's a weird brown spot on mine right there. I just noticed. I don't know what that's from, but yeah, accessory-wise, definitely an A+. And this is what I meant about why the Joker, if you've seen that review, the Mezco Joker, kind of is a little bit of a letdown in the fact that look at how many things Batman came with and how little things Joker came with. Though his suit is more complex and uses a lot more cloth to make, it still would have been cool to get a variety of random funny weapons, kind of like the fish that comes with, what was it, Harley Quinn, the Joker fish and all that stuff. I just think it would have been cool. Anyways, let's move on to the figure. Alright, so here we have the Batman figure with no head and arms, so let's put those on. It's really easy. They have these pegs, just like the other Mezco figures, and you just get the arm, or the hand I should say, and kind of just be careful, because, you know, if you kind of don't want to break that peg, otherwise you're not going to be putting any more arms on, but it's pretty easy. I'm doing it behind camera, so it's a little bit harder for me to do, but you can see they slide right in, pretty simple. This one snapped, this one didn't, but you know, you can still kind of feel it going in. So that's a good thing. The head, again, pretty simple, just grab it. I would move it a little bit more forward because if it leans back too far, it's not going to really go in as good. And you just push, and I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. I was waiting for a snap or something, but no, it went in really easy actually. Don't want to do that because you'll obviously hurt yourself with the ears, but yeah, these are the hands I think I was using to display them with. I might have actually had both of these hands on. I don't think I did actually. Either way, you know, body-wise, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the bulkier Batman, but it is true to the movie. He is a lot bulkier. He looks good. He looks like he does in the movie, and that's pretty much the main point here. It is basically a miniature Hot Toys. A lot of people have been saying that. I'm saying it. It is what it is. The cape is a little bit leathery, I should say. It has kind of like, I don't know what you want to call it, like dirt on the bottom almost. Like it's been run through a lot, which gives it a nice kind of worn look. The inside of it is more of a regular cloth. And it's not a bad cape. It does feel like it gets in the way sometimes. You know, if you want to close it in front of him, it bends forward, and I'm not a fan of that. I wish the cape was a little bit removable or something. Maybe more, I don't know, stretchy if it's the right word, but I don't know. I feel like they really need to improve on the capes, especially with the clip system. I know they've been talking about wires and capes. I know that the Mafex Batman has it, so hopefully we'll get something like that with the next Batman release. But otherwise, it's not horrible. It's just kind of annoying having to kind of work around the cape for how you want to pose it. But it's still an awesome looking cape. Suit wise, you can see he has all of this detail in the suit, all of the stitching, all of this kind of I don't even know what you want to call it, just more stitching in between these lines, which the lines look really good. The bat symbol on it looks good. It has a few scratches on it. The belt looks awesome. I already showed you there's a peg back here for it. I don't know if the belt unclips. I don't think it does. Yeah, I don't think it does. If you unclip that, I'm pretty sure you're just breaking it, so I would not recommend trying it. But yeah, the belt itself looks nice. The gold on it looks nice. Has a little bit of black dry brushing over it. Looks like a not a police, like a car buckle, seat belt buckle. Can't say words. The boots look good. We have gold on them in the front over here. Even the treads on the boot look amazing, and we do have peg holes, obviously for the peg hole part of the stand. The gauntlets look amazing. We have gold on the, I don't even know what you want to call that, the sharper parts. It does have gold right here on the black. I don't know if it's meant to have that or not, but it's on there pretty good, so I'm going to assume it is. But if I'm wrong, then they messed up, and oh well. Otherwise, you know, he does, I don't know, I love it. It is really good. I have no problems with it aside from my own particular, I'm not a fan of the bulkier Batman, and he feels short. I don't know why. I'm looking at him, it might be because the upper body and the legs make him feel, makes him, I don't know, something about it makes him look like he's short. I don't know why. But otherwise, he's a really good figure, so I do recommend it at retail price. Obviously, don't pay overage prices. He's still being produced. You know, I think is up for either pre-order on Big Bag Toy Store. And I think he's in stock on Amazon. I've seen him go for like $100 on eBay. Don't go for that. Look for the $75 to $85 mark. Even if you don't have Amazon Prime, Amazon will ship for free. It won't be the 2-day free shipping, but as long as it's a Prime item, they will ship for free because it's over $35. So don't forget that. He can look up a little bit, not enough. You know, he is Batman. Should look up more. He does crunch back a really good amount, so he can look up a lot better. So that's a good thing. He looks down a pretty decent amount, and again, he can crunch forward. Not as much as he can go back, but enough that it looks pretty good. So there is that. I showed you the crunch already. His arm moves up really, really well for the fact that there's a fabric bodysuit basically there. It does wrinkle up, but not in a horrible way. Let's see if I can... That's about as far down as it goes. It moves forward really good. Moves out really good. He has... I want to say that's a single joint. It might be that, like, he has a muscle right here. My guess is that that muscle is what's interfering with the joint, and that's why he doesn't go in any more than that. But I'm not sure. I've never actually cut apart one of these, and I'm not planning on to see the body. I'm sure someone has. But yeah, from what I can tell, it's a single jointed elbow. He does have a rotation at the upper arm here, which is good, but you can't really do too much because it does stretch the material. And again, it's something I'm worried about ripping, but unlike the Joker one, this material does feel a little bit more sturdy. He has a rotation at the gauntlet right there. So, all the way around. And yeah, depending on if you rotate the arm, you can get a hinge in certain directions, like up and down. Rotates just the hand part of it, not the ball peg there. Then you can move his hand up and down like that. So it's not a bad system. He does have the, like, okay, so before I get onto that, to his waist anyway, he does pivot side to side from his chest and everything. I don't know if he actually has a waist swivel. I don't think he does. If he does, mine doesn't work, but I don't think it's existent on this figure. I mean, I do feel like something's moving, but it doesn't really move too much. Maybe it's stuck on mine. I don't know, but I feel like just the top here moving is more than enough. So that's good. Leg-wise, he kicks forward about that high, so it's not the best, but not the worst. Kicking back a little bit. Again, not the best, but definitely not the worst, especially when a lot of figures can't do that. He does have what looks like double jointed knees, a rotation at the boot, and not really any ankle pivot. I mean, it pivots just a little bit towards the outside, not really much towards the inside. It can move up a good amount, and it can move back a decent amount. Not too good, but decent. Yeah, overall, not a bad figure, especially for something with cloth, a full cloth bodysuit. It's definitely going to be like a bit of a challenge. I feel like the arms could have been double jointed, but that muscle right there got in the way. So it has its little bit issues, but for the most part, it's really good. Best Batman figure, I think, on the market. So it does have that going for it. Yeah, let's get into some size comparisons before we wrap this up. So here he is standing next to an SH Figuarts and a Marvel Legends. You can see he is taller than both. By the Figuarts, a really good amount. So your Figuarts, Marvel Legends, and Batman figures, or I should say DC figures, aren't going to really scale in too well with him. You could probably get away with it with like Harley Quinn and Joker, but definitely not the Superman and the Batman from Dawn of Justice. Just putting that out there for anyone who wants to know. The Marvel Legend, he is only a little bit taller, and I would give it that they're a pretty good size compared to each other. Batman is in boots, and he's wearing a cowl to kind of make his head just a little bit bigger. So I think that size-wise, he is good with the Marvel Legends. Not much else to say there, so let's just move on to a few final thoughts on the figure. So overall, like I said before, he is pretty much the definitive Batman at the moment. He has really good articulation. He's the right size. There's really nothing to complain about. I did forget to mention when I was going through the articulation, though, that mine has like a kind of weak ankle on his. I want to say it's this one on his left. So he does tend to kind of not keep his balance on just that one ankle. My Joker actually kind of has the same issue with both of his. He did fall over a lot. He would just like I would leave him standing in one position for a good hour or two, and then just randomly he would fall over. That hasn't happened with this Batman, but like I said, he does have kind of a weakish ankle. At least mine does. But overall, he's a good Batman. He's really, like I said, he's pretty much the best Batman we're going to get in this size until Mezco releases the other, what is it, the first appearance Batman, hopefully later this year, and I'm definitely going to be picking that up and doing a review on it right away. I would say that the Mezco Dark Knight Returns Batman is just as good. I don't have it, but based on my experience with these figures, it probably is just as good as this figure. I don't know if it reuses the same body mold or not. Um, he does come with a lot of accessories. I would definitely like to pick him up at some point if I can find him for a decent price. He seems to be out of production. Same thing with the Armor Batman. I really wish I could pick that up, but I think it was a Comic Con exclusive, or no, it was a PX exclusive. So I don't even know where you get those in store. I think your comic book store has to pre-order them or something. I'm not really sure. Hard to get. Those ones, when you see them go up on pre-order on Big Bag Toy Store, if you want it and you know you really want it, definitely hit that pre-order button and save up the money to get it for when it comes out, because although sometimes they're a little bit easier to get, like the Captain America, I believe is still pretty cheap, and Reverse Flash is pretty cheap. I'm going to say things like Black Adam I don't think are going to last that long. Same thing with the other version of Superman that's going to be coming out later. The Soviet one, I forgot his name, the Red Sun Superman. So, definitely put in your pre-orders on those ones, because you never know. The Punisher one is another P exclusive that's sold out and just getting more expensive, which is a little bit ridiculous on the prices. But yeah, until that Batman, I think this is definitely the best one. It's my favorite Batman out of all the ones I have in my collection. Don't have too many, but definitely my favorite. The face sculpt is amazing. The suit is amazing. Everything about it is really good. The articulation, although barely limited, not, it's really, really good. It just has a little bit of issues. The ankle pivot and the fact that they didn't give him double jointed elbows. Those you can see here, the pose looks good. The accessories are awesome. 3 batarangs. We don't really need 3 batarangs, but it's awesome that we got them anyway. Especially we got the 2 batarang throwing hands. The grappling gun with 3 different versions to shoot out. The grenade, which, okay. And the punching Batman thing, which I still think is, I thought something Batman would ever do in the comic book. It's still cool to have. He used it in the movie, so glad we have it. Yeah, nothing else to really say here other than definitely recommend picking them up if you're on the fence about it, if you're debating between this one and the Mafex one. If you can save up the money, if you can afford it, definitely go with this version. If not, I've heard good things about the Mafex one. I'm just not a fan of all the gaps in the joints and stuff. Marvel Legends, I do collect them. They do have joint kind of thingies, but I feel like imports, more than anything, do not do a great job in hiding them, depending on the figure. But that's just my opinion on that. Yeah, it's a good figure. Definitely recommend it. I don't think I'm gonna get the Superman though. At least not right now. I kind of want the original Superman. He's not, the Superman from Batman v Superman is not high on my priority list at all. I want to get Flash next, or Daredevil, one of the two, and then Punisher, and then maybe I'll get Superman, depending on if anybody else has come out before then. But anyways, yeah, definitely recommend it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.